Prime Minister Alan Chastanet argued that the island was not out of the woods in the battle against the pandemic, and the extension of the state of emergency was necessary to retain the capacity to respond to an epidemiological wave as the economy emerges from lockdown.
A state of emergency is no small matter. A state of emergency comes as a result of a declaration by government in response to an extraordinary situation posing a fundamental threat to our country. In our case, we face two fundamental threats: a pandemic and, secondly, the risk of a financial and economic crisis. It remains one of the most, if not the most effective mechanisms in dealing with events which pose a fundamental threat to our country.
The leader of the opposition cited government perfidy on the demolition of the Royal Jail as one of the main reasons the administration could not be trusted with the extension of the state of emergency. Castries East MP Philip J. Pierre contends that the incumbent is using the COVID-19 crisis as a pretext to further its agenda ahead of the start of the next election cycle.
So we're speaking about trust, Mr. Speaker. And today, Mr. Speaker, this government, because I feel sorry for the Attorney General, because I know the Attorney General is a man of honor. The Attorney General will not sign a document if it does not have the good faith and you believe that the government would follow the rules, would follow what the document says, Mr. Speaker. But this government, in its arrogance and its vindictiveness and its desire to use the backfill material to put in somebody's land, in that desire, Mr. Speaker, the government has destroyed the building, Mr. Speaker. So we're not arguing about the building. We're arguing about no building. We're arguing about trust, Mr. Speaker. And that is why, find out. You know everything, find out. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, we are speaking about trust. We are speaking about trust, Mr. Speaker. That's what we're speaking about. We're speaking about whether the government's word can be taken. And that is what's important in the state of emergency. The government using the cover of COVID to pursue their own private agendas.
Another opposition MP, the representative for Dennery North, Shawn Edward, also pointed to the distrust of the Alan Chastanet administration for his misgivings. The lawmaker warned of an emboldened illiberal intolerance of dissenting voices by the Chastanet-led government.
There is a different way. You are quick, Mr. Speaker, to be pushed beneath the guillotine. Whether you are from the clergy, you're from the opposition, you are a member of civil society organizations, it's as if you ought not to come out and express your opinion on things that you're passionate about. And if you don't believe me, Mr. Speaker, find the time to engage members of the St. Lucia National Trust. Ask the Archbishop, and there are a number of other persons you can ask. And so, Mr. Speaker, the St. Lucia Labour Party, or the parliamentary opposition, we are saying that we have serious misgivings with the extension of the state of emergency from June 1st to the 30th of September. This is an abuse of power. This is a government flexing its state muscles to shield itself. And this morning, we all saw it outside the Parliament chamber. The place was cordoned off, a government shielding itself from its people.
The wheels quickly came off the proceedings when miscommunication between the Speaker and the Castries South MP led to a premature end to the debate on the resolution and start of the Prime Minister's rebuttal. However, Chastanet's summation was upended when the House Speaker, unnerved by the crosstalk and the banter, suspended the sitting and stormed off in frustration as Dennery North MP Shawn Edward stood on a point of order.
Members on the opposite Mr. Speaker, side. On a point of order, I think the Prime Minister is misleading the House to suggest that honourable members, honourable members, leader of the opposition, honourable leader of the opposition, honourable leader of the opposition, honourable members, I'm out of this House for the time. This House stands in suspension.
The House would resume hours later with the House Speaker admonishing both sides of the aisle for what he termed unbecoming behaviour.
If we do not want to be here, I suggest we could just all walk out. But when we're here to do the business of the people. That's what we're here for. And whether or not we behave or keep to the standard of what is expected of us as honorable members cannot be determined by myself, but by yourselves. I will not, and I've tried my best to be fair to both sides.
Prime Minister Alan Chastanet in his rebuttal argued that the Trust Royal Jail Agreement was not legally binding, and the administration, after exhausting all means including the reinterment of the remains of prisoners, had the latitude to proceed as it saw fit.
There was several meetings, in fact including a site visit, with the Trust and also with our team to look to see how the facility could be incorporated into the design. That was done. That was done, Mr. Speaker. Sadly, our government ended up having to do what members on the opposite side themselves had proposed to do many years ago. In fact, we decided to do it a little bit differently. Their recommendation was that the prison should have been blown up.
The National Trust describes the move as an act of bad faith, given the administration had given its word to cooperate with the parties. Despite the opposition's misgivings, the extension of the state of emergency from May 31st to September 30th passed the House by a vote of 9-6. Colby DeVoe, HTS News Force.